Welcome back to It Figures, and tonight I have some really cool looking figures from one of my all-time favorite horror movies, It. And these are actually Funko figures, but they're not pop figures, they're called VYNL. It's sort of a new series that they released, but I mean it's been around for a while, but I've never bought any of them because I've never really liked any of them until I saw this, and this one I had to have. So what we have here, of course, is Pennywise and Georgie. And again, these are ridiculously cartoon versions of them, and that's what I like. This looks like something that might be on like Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network or something like that, if this was ever an actual animated show. So I think they're pretty cool. They've had a ton of other ones, obviously, out. I mean, it's anything from He-Man to Thundercats to I don't even know what. They just released a ton of these vinyl figures. But so far, this is the only one that really caught my attention because I just like the look of it, and obviously I love the movie. I think it's one of Stephen King's best adaptations ever. Ever. I mean, that's how much I love this movie. And here is the actual movie. This is the steelbook that I got a while back in 4K, which I did the unboxing for. And I also do have the review of the film on here from when I went to first go see it. So if you want to check that out, please do so. Okay, so here we go. The opening of my very first vinyl figures from Funko. So let's take a look at Pennywise first here. The reason I like this was because of the colors. The colors are so nice on this, and it's all painted too. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a Mighty Mug figure, the old Mighty Mugs that came out a long time ago, where all the figures looked exactly the same except their faces were painted and their bodies were painted differently. I mean, this isn't exactly like that, but his face, I mean, there's the only thing that actually is sculpted on here is his nose, which is weird. So if you turn it sideways, you can see he does have the bump there where his nose is, and the rest of it is completely flat, even though it might look three-dimensional looking at it, because the paint is so well done. It isn't. Everything is actually flat here. His hair here looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, what a great sculpt they did for it. It's huge, and it's a great, really nice color orange. And if you take a look at it, which I guess I didn't really notice seeing it in the movie, I don't know if this was intentional, where the hair comes up like this, so it almost looks like he has horns on the side of his head. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Again, I don't know if that's just the hairstyle or if that was intentional, but pretty awesome. So as for his body, it's square, which I guess all these vinyl figures are. I never really noticed because I've never had one, and I never paid much attention to it. But this is much different than the Funko Pop figure because of basically a square body. But it's kind of cool though. I mean, what they did here, and as you can see, the detail they have in it is fantastic. All the stripes and his belt and the ruffles here underneath his head and everything did a really, really great job. And his sleeve and his hand and everything. It'd be cool if they had some articulation here where he can move his arm or something, but it's Funko, so they don't like articulation. They don't believe in articulation. And even his feet here with the balls on each one of them is really, really well done. And the coloring in his shoes is great. And of course, he's holding his classic red balloon, which is pretty cool. It would have been a little bit cooler if he wasn't holding it so far down and let the string up so it would float. But if he did that, his head would be in the way. They would have to outstretch his arm and let it float next to him or something. But I mean, that's pretty cool. And check those eyes out. I mean, that's just like those, demon eyes that he has. And love the coloring in there with the orange and the yellow and the red, and just, oh man, it looks great. Now we move to poor little Georgie, who looks kind of upset, maybe a little afraid, but yeah, he has reason to be. And he's holding a boat here that Bill made him, and it says SS George on it, and it's really cool. I love that. I think that's, whoops, the stand just fell off. He comes with stands, by the way, they come with stands, by the way, so you can stand them up so they don't fall over. But yeah, that was one of the selling points for me, is him holding the boat with his signature on there. I thought that was so cool. And just like Pennywise, his body is a square, and he's wearing, of course, the yellow rain slicker. So there's nothing on the back of his head. I mean, there's no details or anything. But it's a really nice color. I love the yellow. It's very bright, very vibrant. And that's what I like about these vinyl figures is the paint. The paint's really, really good. And he has these gigantic eyeballs, and his nose is actually sculpted on just like Pennywise's was. But the rest of it is all painted except for his hair. He does have actual hair that comes out, so that's not just flat paint, as you can see. And he has his galoshes, his green galoshes on, and his arm, it would be nice if we could detach it or something. But no, it's on there. And his hand coming out from the sleeve, and that's really well sculpted. And I should point out that these figures, they do let their heads do turn, and that's it. I mean, same thing with the clown; his head turns as well. But yeah, that's the only articulation that they have here. So overall, these are really great figures. And I saw them in a store, and I almost didn't pick them up. I got these at Target because like I said, I haven't owned any of the other ones, and I figured, if I start buying one, then I'll probably want to get all of them, and then I'll end up with 17,000 vinyl figures like I did with the pop figures, and I don't want to do that. But these were so cool. Of course, they're horror figures as well, which also helps my decision on buying things. Usually, if I can find some really cool looking figures from a horror movie, I'm there. I always pick them up. So if you watch my other It figures, you know I have a lot of horror movie figures, and these guys are just super cool, and I'm really glad I picked them up. Which begs the question now, am I going to get any more vinyl figures? I don't know. Being that Toys R Us no longer exists, these guys are hard to find in the stores anywhere. Target, like I said, was selling them, and then this is the only one they had out of all the pop figures, or the vinyl figures. They didn't have any other ones. And this is the only time I've ever seen them in the store. I've been looking for these guys for a long time and never seen them. So this was the only time I've ever actually seen these guys. Overall, super impressed by this. Really enjoy it. Think they look fantastic. And I'm really glad I actually did pick them up. So there you go. If you're a fan of horror movies or horror action figures or just action figures in general, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we are also the Box Office Maniacs, and we review all types of things on here, from horror movies to TV shows to DVDs to you name it, animated shows to Disney movies. Anything and everything. We are the Maniacs, and this is what we do, is we review stuff. So, and if you enjoy that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we would love to have you as one of our Maniacs on here, and we'd love to hear from you. So if you have picked these up, or if you picked up any other vinyl models from Funko, let me know, and let me know what you think of them. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the review, and I shall see you next time here on